Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Bigger Picture. I'm Matthews Frank, and here at The Bigger Picture, we're all about recognizing organizations here on campus that you may have not heard of. To start off, this season might look a little bit different. My co-host Kiara will not be joining us this season due to her being at the Semester at Sea program. She is currently in Spain, so we wish her all the well that she can, and we can't wait to see her return for the next season of The Bigger Picture. But to start off this season, let's talk about some of the organizations and what they're doing here on campus this week. To start off, 2.5 had their Walk of Shame this past Tuesday. The walk was used to honor those who are victims of sexual assault. Many students came out and showed their support, as well as many dance teams putting on amazing performances. I personally myself went to the Walk of Shame. It was a great event. There was a bunch of performances from the different dance teams here on campus. There was also some poetry read and spoken word read at the end of the Walk of Shame, which was very emotional but yet powering. And I highly recommend anybody else who wasn't able to go to the Walk of Shame to go next year. It's a great event, and it's the one event where I feel like you can truly speak your voice and, make your voice heard. But to continue on, the Caribbean Student Association will be having their CSA week from October 11th to October 16th, with their week ending with the Taste of the Tropics dinner and their Lupus Walk. The dinner will be held in Sheldon Ballroom, so if anybody is interested in attending their dinner, please just go to the box office or online at tickets.oswego to buy your ticket. Women's Center will also be having their Take Back the Night week starting October 24th and ending October 27th with their Take Back the Night event. This as well will be held in Sheldon Ballroom, and if you would like to buy tickets for the event, just go to the Oswego box office or to the Oswego.tickets website. When we return back from break, we'll be joined by the CEO of the Hood Journals, Andy, so come back.
Hey, I'm Megan.
And I'm Donna.
And this is the Sunset Show. Grab your low-rise jeans because we're taking it back to the 2000s.
Let's go, girls.
Uggs and low-rise jeans.
Together.
One of the boys, boy.
Sorry, it's my agent. He told me that you're canceled.
Shebangy, shebangy, shebangy.
Right.
Welcome to the burial ground. And all of sports entertainment.
Welcome back to the Kind of Lake Show, where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Well, my birthday was November 13th, so it's been quite some time.
I think at the end we saw him get up.
I did that.
It's a winner, and I did bring you sweater for everyone. There you go! I know your dreams.
You started the paper throwing, just the immaturity. You lost before you even argued. Pretty insane that the Clippers, 10 of the last 11 postseasons, they're in there.
Welcome back to The Bigger Picture. Tonight's guest star of The Bigger Picture is the current CEO and creator of the Hood Journals, Mr. Andy. Andy, welcome to The Bigger Picture, man. Right?
What's good, bro?
Thank you for coming on the show. So I have a couple of questions for you. Feel free to answer them however you want. Let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
So my first question for you is, I want you to tell me all about the Hood Journals. Who was your support group to get it started? Who is still there helping you out with the journals? And
Okay.
who keeps you going? What's your motivation?
All right, cool. So how it started,
the pandemic played a big role in it starting, because before the pandemic I was writing articles like about the NBA. I had a bet with one of my mans, my son Mustafa, shout out to Mustafa. He had a bet with me when the NBA season had restarted in July 2020. He was like, yo bro, if the Clippers win the championship, that's what I was going for, then he'll give me some because he had a Coven brand, he'll give me some Coven for free. And then he was like, if the Lakers win the championship, that's who he was going for. He was like, yo bro, you gotta interview me and my man for our Coven brand. I had been preying like what his man was doing for a long time. I've been a fan of his work, and I was like, yo bro, like regardless if we had a bet or not, we could still do an interview. I think it was like August of 2020. It came to my house, we did an interview, and then that's when it started. Before I used to write out like my interviews, I would do like written pieces. In March of 2021, like again because of the COVID pandemic, I was in the city for that semester, and I was blessed with a studio where I could be able to record my content and record my interviews. I got blessed for a mutual friend, and like from March until like I came back to school in August 2021, I was recording videos nonstop. I had lost the studio in August of 2021 because of some mistakes that a guest had made. So I had to pivot. I started recording interviews in my car. Then when it started getting hot and people don't really want to be in the car, people want to move around, like this past summer, I started going to people's neighborhoods and recording interviews.
Okay, yeah,
I got some more equipment. I was able to pivot. And here we are today. It's a longer story than that, but like the short version of the story.
Yeah.
People that stood with me at that time, I got my creative director, Roki.
Yeah.
She's been with me since the start. She's the one that created the name to her journals. I have my girlfriend, my girlfriend Zaya. She's been supporting me since day one. Whether we're on good or bad terms, she's always there supporting me. My brother, of course, my son Ace, he's always been supporting me. And I've always had that support by like the black community, by like my people, that they always show me love, always show me respect for what I got going on. You have been one of my early supporters. Kiara been one of my early supporters, always showing me love.
Definitely.
So like the people, they've been sticking with me since day one. So.
Okay. All right, cool. So I guess you mentioned it a little bit earlier with this question, but basically, who inspired you what actually inspired you to transition from doing the blog writing style to then doing the podcast style interviews? Okay,
cool. When I started doing it, like nobody inspired me right then and there. Like in August, like when I did my first interview, I didn't really have inspiration. I just like to meet new people, meet people that fascinate me, meet people in fields that I would never join. Like I said, I just interview somebody for a cover brand. I would never make a cover brand, but I want to know how you make the clothes that I like. Yeah. A couple of podcasters that I watched that inspired me today. My son Intro Kev, he's a podcaster that goes to St. John's University. He's shown me that about consistency, posting as much as you can. My son P Films, he interviews a lot of big New York City musical artists. He showed me about quality, about okay, how do you get people's attention? Yeah. Other platforms like On the Radar and Drop the Heat, they're platforms that I tap into, that I listen to a lot of their interviews. And even outside of like interviewing people in New York City, like I watch a lot of NBA podcasts. All the Smoke with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. I watch the JJ Redick podcast. I watch the Knuckleheads with Quinn Richardson and Darius Miles. So I tap into a lot of, I've been tapping into the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder. I tap into a lot of different platforms that, and I take a piece of whatever I like from them, and I try to implement it to mine. Right.
Makes sense.
Right.
I'm curious to know, because that involves like a lot of background work, because you can't, not anybody could just get up and start anybody could get up and start a podcast.
They could,
but it takes like a lot of background work. So for example, like how you mentioned earlier, getting the studio and stuff, and how you, like, my question is basically how you work the mic, how were you able to set that up, who helps you do all that, like technology kind of aspect of it?
Appreciate that. So I'll tell you how I do it now. So so like I told you, when I lost the studio, I had to pivot, right? Yeah. For a period of time, I was literally just recording interviews in my car. I would just put my car on I would put my phone on the dashboard, and I would just record a conversation. And I was doing pretty well for a little bit, but my viewers, they were like, oh, we can't really hear you. Like the audio quality was up to par. Okay. I invested in a little tripod in May of 2022. Tripod where, feel me, it's like 6 feet. I could walk around and like hold my phone. There's like a little clip that it comes with a mic as well that help improve the audio quality. So I'm recording interviews from my phone. I have a mic to go along along with it. So that's basically how I do it. I think I got it in my book bag in my crib right now. I could literally, if I wanted to interview you right now, I could just back at the tripod with the mic and we could just start rolling.
Yeah.
My next step is investing in the camera to continue improving the quality, because now the video quality is not the best. Sometimes I'm going to a lot of these neighborhoods. I'm going when it's dark outside, when it's nighttime. Not everybody can really see what's really going down in these neighborhoods. So now I got to get a camera that could, regardless where I'm at, the audio quality is up to par. It's all about improving quality, because work ethic is there. But once the quality improves, then that's when we're going to take off.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. To do, like, for example, the part that you said, we got to, like, when you go into neighborhoods at dark and stuff, you need to have the right quality, camera quality, because if not, then your viewers can't see anything. So
yeah, you see how W2P got some nice,
you see the lights and stuff, the cameras, Nah, respect that. I guess my next question could be, what impact does the Hood Journal leave on the community back at home and the community here at Oswego?
That's a good question. I would like to think of myself as someone that's humble, so I would leave y'all to answer that question. But I can tell you what I heard. I would like to think that I empower my community. I give them a platform that allows them to express themselves, judgment-free zone, where they're allowed to speak how they feel, where they're allowed to. I go to their neighborhood and they wear their neighborhood with pride. So, what neighborhood are you from?
The Bronx. Oh,
what we get specific. So, what part of the Bronx?
Got you. You know, Woodlawn, Mashulu.
Right. So, feel me. Every interview I'll be like, yo, at the beginning I ask you, okay, welcome to the Hood Journal Podcast, I'm here with Matthews, and then I ask you, you mind telling me we in Woodlawn, we in Woodlawn,
that makes sense.
Whatever we call Woodlawn, we're in Woodlawn, we on your side, and we are putting you on the spotlight. So I feel like I like to empower people in my community, similar to how you do with the bigger picture, empowering people, letting them tell their story, because big outlets, they're not for us. Like large major networks, they're not for us. They're not coming to Woodlawn to see what you're doing. So I want to fill that void for you. I want to be like, okay, if News 7 is not coming to Woodlawn, the Hood Journals will come to Woodlawn. We're going to tell your story.
It's funny you say that, because there's a bunch of podcasts I feel like everybody watches and wishes that, damn, if you can come to my neighborhood, we can actually have a talk. You can see where I'm from, instead of, because I just feel like a bunch of podcasts and stuff, or just a bunch of interviews in general that are on screen, they focus on the big places in New York, Times Square.
Right.
They don't really go to those neighborhoods where things really go down, where we really grow up at.
Dude, they're not going to Times Square at 12 a.m. when a gig is
I know you
have to finish. He knows something.
Yeah. So we could jump into the next part of that question. How about the community here at Oswego?
Oh, okay, that's a great question. I just recently started doing interviews here in Oswego. Well, I started officially in May 2022. You and Kiara, and a lot of Shadow Brianna Boateng, Shadow Pan, a lot of dope journalism, broadcasting majors here at Oswego. I was able to record my first interview. That was a stepping stone for what I'm able to do this semester. I'm able to. Obviously, we're not in the trenches. We're not in these low income communities, but in Oswego's a bunch of self-made, black-owned businesses that are doing their thing. A lot of people doing hair, a lot of people making music, a lot of people making clothing. Shout out to the people I've been able to interview out here. So, being here in Oswego, no, I'm not interviewing 100 drill rappers like I'm doing in the city, but I'm interviewing people in different fields and getting to know, okay, how do you bring your business to Oswego? How do you make money? How do you improve yourself as a business person? Recently, I've been able to do a couple interviews for LGBTQ History Month, so that's something that is new. I'm able to interview a bunch of people in the community, how they got into the community, how they transitioned, how they got comfortable with their true self. So here is all about preparing myself for when I go back to the city. Now I can literally interview anybody I want.
Exactly.
You feel me? So
I feel like as somebody who was on the Hood Journals, you gave me a boost of confidence. I'm not gonna lie, because seeing you do your work and how you was on gaming time. Nobody was stopping you from what you was doing. So you just doing that, you interviewing us, you asking us those questions, and you posting them, and then people commenting, people resharing. It gave me a boost of confidence. I'm sure it gave Justin, Payne, Brianna, Naya, gave all of us some boost of confidence. So I appreciate you for interviewing me. I bet they 100% also appreciate you interviewing them. But speaking about interviewing people, who's that one person that in your mind you're wow, if I could interview you, that'd be the greatest thing ever?
Wow, okay, that's crazy because like a couple weeks ago I was thinking like, yo, when I get an interview, they're gonna ask me a question like this, I gotta be ready to answer, but I don't have an answer for you. But I think off the top, there's two people that come to mind. Let's go Dougie B. So Dougie B is a drill artist from the city. One of them well-known drill artists in the city, K-Flock's friend. He's somebody I went to high school with. So, you know, he's somebody that's full of energy, positive person, shows love to the most lit person in the room, to the janitor. He's a dope personality, so I know it'll be a good interview. And also, Kai Sinat, #1 Twitch streamer in the country, big YouTuber. He's another person I went to high school with. I was actually in the same class with him.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so it would be a cool full circle moment to like be like, yo, how do we get from English class to you the #1 Twitch streamer in the city? That would be a dope full circle moment. So that's two people that come to mind.
Okay, cool. So I feel like let's go to this question. We're gonna get a little deep here.
All right, let's talk about it.
So let's picture Andy when he was a young kid, right? What did Andy as a young kid picture himself doing at the age of 21, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm 21 now. All right, so younger. So I guess let's go back to like probably like 5 years ago.
Okay.
I was in Five Deuce. That's my neighborhood. I wanted to go to the NBA. That's what I really wanted to do. I was heavy on ball is life, playing basketball whenever I could. That was the wearing basketball shorts and your under your uniform. You went to wheels. You know how to give it up in wheels when they play basketball.
Every time we go to the gym, you know, you got to take the pants off quick, have your basketball shorts ready.
Right. Elite socks on. We got the KD. Exactly. You already know what it was. So
KD boot bag and the Nike Elite boot bag.
Everybody wanted to play basketball. We even when I was in high school, we played our team in the playoffs. You had a dope team. So like, I really wanted to go to NBA. That was my only thing. I remember one time, like, my mom asked me why you want to like. She told me you can't major in basketball in college. That's what she used to tell me. That's how heavy I was into basketball. And it was everything basketball. Like, my journalist path with basketball was I used to read a bunch of NBA articles on applications like Bleacher Report, The Ringer, on ESPN. I was heavy in like anything NBA related, anything basketball. That was what I wanted to do like when I was younger.
I could definitely relate when your mom said like, oh, you're gonna major in basketball because my dad when he was younger, he wanted to play football. Okay. But when he was, I think he was 17, he messed up his right leg and it was just done after that. And he kind of like pushed it upon me. He was like, I couldn't do football, so now you're gonna do football. And personally, I was like, yeah, I could do this because I like playing football. I like watching football, so I was like, I could do it. But then I started realizing, that's why I'm saying like me and you kind of similar because then I started realizing I didn't want to do football. I kind of wanted to jump into like journalist and news and do stuff like that. So I guess I could jump into my next question is, why journalist? Like,
why journalist?
Why journalist to begin with?
Listen, you better than me because at a young age, you was able to dictate, okay, football is not for me, let me pivot, let me find something different. Me, I was like, yo, I'm going to the NBA out of SUNY Oswego. That was my type of talent. But what my mom always stressed to me was that you had to have a backup plan. Like, because like you said, like your pops got hurt playing football. That could have been it for him. And he had his mindset on football. You got to pivot because you could get injured and it could be taken away from you for the rest of your life, right? So I got into journalism. I had a tough conversation with my mom. It was April of 2019. It was a couple of days before I had to commit to a school. And I didn't know what major I wanted to go into. I was gonna go undecided. Now, my girlfriend, she's behind the camera. I got a history of being indecisive, feel me? So it's like, my mom was like, you are not about to bring that indecisiveness to SUNY Oswego. You're gonna figure out where you wanna go, like what you wanna major or you're not going to college. So I was like, so for me, I don't usually cry. That night I cried because my mom, I'm a sensitive person. My mom laid it down on me like, yo, if you don't put a major down, you're not going to college. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go into journalism because I was like, what is something I want to do that I will never get bored of that I want to do for the rest of my life. And it was journalism. It was writing articles. It was meeting new people, telling stories, bringing news to people. I remember I used to be that person that like, oh, if somebody got into a fight at lunch, I'm telling everybody. Like, I want to be the first one to tell you. So that's how I was, and I was like journalism. That's my passion. So.
All right, cool. So when we return from break, we're gonna hit up Kiara and see what Kiara's been doing across the land, all the way in Spain, and we'll take a look at some of her vlogs. So stay tuned.
Kinda late, kinda late, kinda late, the Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think
can't.
you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
Look at that. It's so sad.
Here's our weather outlets and our social media on Saturday. And that's optional, right?
Back to the bigger picture. Like I mentioned earlier, Kiara will not be joining us this semester due to her being a semester at sea studying abroad. But that does not mean that she will not be joining us. She will be sending us weekly vlogs of what she has been doing at her semester at sea and what countries she has been traveling to. So today she has sent us a vlog from her trip to Morocco. So take a look at the video.
Bigger picture. It's your host Kiara, and as you can see, I'm not in the studio with my incredible co-host Matthews, and the reason why is because I'm studying abroad this semester. I'm actually participating in the Semester at Sea program, and if you don't know what Semester at Sea is, you should. It's literally sweet life on deck. I'm going to school on a ship for the next 4 months, living and have classes on a ship. It's been an incredible experience and something I want to take you guys along with me. So right now we're currently in our second port. And you want to know what our second port is? We're in Morocco. We're ported in Casablanca, Morocco. And today I'm actually going on a 2-day overnight field program with one of my courses. We're going to be observing climate change and food systems in Morocco's culture. We're going to be going to a very rural village outside of Casablanca. We're going to be meeting with professors and students from the university so they can provide us better insight. And guess what? I'm taking you guys along with me, so let's go. Hey. Everyone has good squats. Hey.
Like if you want some of the
Okay, so you go like this?
Yeah, no, like this. Who wants to keep that salad?
Oh, nothing.
No, okay. Like you push it wherever you want, like that. And you just put this one, like that.
So we just got checked into our hotel. We had lunch with some of the university students, and then we're gonna be going to an olive oil cooperative very shortly to see what goes into making olive oils. And then later on, we're gonna be meeting our host families and having dinner with them. It's gonna be really nice. So this is where we are right now in Beni Mala.
The drought, if you have a lot of drought, then it affects the olives because it affects the quality and the quantity as well.
We actually just finished at the Olive Oil Cooperative, which was an amazing experience. The owners that gave us a tour, they were really incredible and gave us really good insight on what it's like to run an olive oil cooperative and what it's been like, especially because Morocco has been experiencing a drought and what that has been like for their product, very high demand, prices going up. And it was just overall a great experience and very great discussion. Good morning, the bigger picture. It's the next day and we're still in Beni Mala. Today we're actually headed to a camel dairy farm to see how camel milk is produced. It's a very popular product here in Morocco, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. And we have a few other things in store for the day, so let's go, guys. We just finished having lunch with our incredible host family. She made us couscous, and it was my first time having it, and it was the best thing ever. And right now we're back at the cooperative for our cooking class. What are they making? Does anyone know?
I think it's a wash for this.
Oh. Right now we're at our Moroccan party. Everyone has their gowns on. Hi guys, we're back in the hotel after an incredible Moroccan party. The experience was like something I honestly will never forget. Just being able to see their culture and everything that it entails was just something I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. But that is it for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to watch the full Morocco vlog, tune into my YouTube channel. Slay! I'll see you guys in the next episode.
I would like to first thank my guest star, Andy, for being part of the first episode of season 2 of The Bigger Picture.
Thank you.
If you want to leave us with any lasting words.
Shout out The Bigger Picture. Shout out my son Matthew, he's doing big things. Shout out my girlfriend. Shout out my brother. Shout out my sister, my mom. Shout out Five Dudes. Shout out everybody that's rocking with the Hood Journal. Stay locked in.
There you go. And also a big shout out to Kiara, who's abroad in Madrid, Spain. We miss you. We can't wait for you to come back.
Yes, sir.
And as always, don't forget to always see things through the bigger picture.
There we go. That was a good one.
Welcome back to the best show on WTOP 10, out on our own Oswego.
Did you hear that Bad Bunny's gonna be in Canada over spring break, you know?
I heard that one.
Drink call. The week.
Oh my God.
Roll it.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.